Now you all heard about Vamana and how Rama and Lakshmana reached Siddhashrama. Once they reached Siddhashrama, Vishwamitra told them to have a good rest. Then he said, I will start my yagna. Then you will all have to stand guard. So take adequate rest. Then Rama and Lakshmana had the required rest. And Vishwamitra along with all the sages started the yagna. So once the yagna was how many days? It was 6 days for the yagna to get completed. And Rama and Lakshmana stood guard around the yagna. Every time the Rakshasas came, Rama and Yagna chased them away. Hey, go, 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 go. We have got bows and arrows. We'll chase you away. So the Rakshasas were also very scared. Though they tried lots of tricks to disturb the Yagna, Rama and Lakshmana never allowed it. They were very careful that the Yagna would not get disturbed. Finally, the Yagna got over. Then Rama and Lakshmana wanted to go back home. They got homesick. Anytime you leave your mama dada and come, you'll feel homesick. No, so this Rama and Lakshmana also were feeling homesick. But Vishwamitra said, well done Rama and Lakshmana, you have done a very good job. But now I want you to take you to a place called Mithila. So Mithila is ruled by a king called Janaka. And Janaka has got a very nice bow and arrow, excellent bow and arrow. I want you all to see that bow and arrow before you go back to your kingdom. So what is so special about this bow and arrow? So Vishwamitra said, this bow and arrow was given to King Janaka by Shiva himself, Lord Shiva. So you have to see it because it is such a great and powerful bow. And nobody can lift this bow. So many Asuras, so many Devas and so many Maruts have come and tried to lift the bow. But they can never lift the bow. So I want you to come and have a look at the bow. So Rama said, okay sage, we will come with you. And they started going towards Mithila. Now as they were walking, they were covered, this land was covered with mountains, beautiful snow-capped mountains. And they kept walking. And then they came to a place where the river Ganga was flowing. She was falling down from the mountains and flowing down. And it was such a beautiful sight to behold. There were lots of colorful lotuses and lilies growing on the river. And Rama and Lakshmana did not want to move out of the place because it was so beautiful. They just stood there, and kept looking at the river and the mountains and everything. Then sage Vishwamitra said, I know how beautiful this place is. So before we proceed further, let me you all sit down and take some rest and let me tell you the story about this land. So as always, you know how eager you are to listen to stories. So similarly, Rama and Lakshmana were very eager to listen to the land of this tale of this land. So they sat down very happily and Vishwamitra said, do you know all these mountains around us? It is called the Himalayas. Himalayas means the abode of the snow, the home of the snow. And the king of these Himalayas is a person called Himavan. And Himavan had 2 daughters. So one was called Ganga and the other daughter was called Parvati. So Ganga was so beautiful and whatever she touched became pure. So that was the beauty of Ganga, that anything she touched would become very pure. So she was very happily roaming around the mountains and all that. But then the Devas thought, if we bring Ganga into the heaven, it would be really good. She could purify all of us. So they went to Himavan and said, oh Lord Himavan, please give us Ganga. We want to take her to Devaloka. So Himavan thought for some time and said, okay, if it is for a good cause, no problem. You can take her and go. But she must first get transformed. Otherwise, how will she come to heaven? So let her change herself into a river and then you can take her to the Devaloka. So Ganga transformed herself into a river and went with the Devas. There she was called the Akasha Ganga. So they named her Akasha Ganga because she went to Akash. Then who was left? Parvati was still there. Parvati thought, I must marry only Lord Shiva. So she did severe penance. Then Lord Shiva came and married her. So when all this was happening, what was happening in another part? There was a king called Sagara. Now Sagara had two wives. One was called Kesini and one was called Sumati. And as in the story, Sagara also did not have any children. So what did he do? He wanted to have children. So he went into the Himalayas along with both his wives, and he started doing penance. Very strict religious penance he did. And how many years do you think he did penance? He did penance for 100 years. Can you imagine? 100 years he did penance. And when he was doing this penance, he was a sage called Bhrigu came to him. And he said, you have done so much of penance. You are a very blessed man. You will have children. One of your wives will have one son. And the second wife, guess how many sons she is going to have? 60,000 sons. Can you imagine? She was going to have 60,000 sons. And the one son is born to the one wife will be the ruler of your kingdom. So you both decide who wants to have 60,000 children and who wants to have that one son. So Kesini quickly said, I will have that one son. And Sumati said, I will have the 60,000 sons. So it was decided and they went back to their kingdom. And very soon, Kesini had that one son and Sumati had 60,000 babies. And Kesini named her son Asamanja. What did she call him? She called him Asamanja. He was going to be the next king, you remember? And the 60,000 children, what did they name him? It's very difficult, no? 60,000 names is too hard for me to tell you, and it's too hard for you to remember also. So just to make it very easy, we will call them the League of the 60,000. Okay. Now as they were growing up, what happened? Now you need to wait to see what happened to them as they were growing up. Okay.